The remote outpost sat on the edge of council space, a small domed building on a barren moon. No grass grew here. No wind blew. The sky was always black, filled with stars that did not care about the lone human who lived beneath them. Marcus Cole had been stationed here for 6 months. He was a scout, a watcher, a soldier sent to monitor the border. His job was to watch for alien fleets, to report anything unusual, to be the eyes of Earth in the darkness. Most days, he saw nothing but stars and dust. His supplies were low. His food was running out. He had been rationing for weeks, eating less each day, stretching his meals as far as they would go. He dreamed of real food. Fresh bread, hot soup, anything but the bland nutrient bars that filled his pack. Tonight, he was cooking his last real meal. A small piece of meat, saved for a special occasion. The smell filled the small dome, warm and rich. Marcus sat by the small stove, watching the meat sizzle. He was tired. He was hungry. He was lonely. He did not hear the door open. He did not see the small figure slip inside. He only noticed when a shadow fell across the stove. He looked up. A young alien girl stood before him. She was small, thin, her scales dull and cracked. Her clothes were torn, hanging loosely on her tiny frame. Her eyes were wide with fear and hunger. In her hands, she held his meal. She had taken it from the stove while he was lost in thought. She was shaking. Marcus stood slowly. He was tall, broad, strong. He could grab her easily. He could call for help. He could punish her for stealing. But he did not. He looked at her. She looked at him. Neither spoke. The girl took a step back. She was terrified. She expected him to shout, to strike, to hurt her. That was what she had known. That was what she expected. Her whole life had been filled with cruelty and fear. She had learned to run. She had learned to hide. She had learned that adults were dangerous. Marcus did not move. He looked at her thin body, her dull scales, her empty eyes. He saw the hunger. He saw the fear. He saw a child who was not a thief. She was a survivor. He had seen that look before. On Earth. In war zones. In the eyes of children who had lost everything. He knew that look. He knew what it meant. Eat, he said. His voice was soft. He did not shout. He did not reach for her. He simply stood there, calm and still, waiting. The girl did not understand. She did not speak his language. She had never heard human words before. But she understood his tone. She understood that he was not going to hurt her. She understood that he was not angry. She looked at the food in her hands. Steam rose from the meat, warm and fragrant. Her stomach growled. She had not eaten in days. She had been surviving on scraps, on stolen crumbs, on nothing at all. She looked at Marcus. He nodded. His eyes were kind. She had not seen kindness in a long time. She had forgotten what it looked like. She raised the food to her mouth. She took a small bite, then another. Then she ate faster, tearing at the meat with her small teeth, swallowing without chewing. She was starving. She could not help herself. Marcus watched her in silence. He did not speak. He did not move. He simply watched, his heart heavy. He had given her his last real meal. He would eat nutrient bars for the rest of his deployment. But he did not care. He had seen hunger before. He had seen children die. He would not let it happen again. The girl finished the meal. She licked her fingers. She looked at Marcus. Her eyes were still scared, but something else was there now. Something like gratitude. She did not have words for it. She did not know how to thank him. She simply stood there, small and fragile, waiting for him to act. Marcus sat down slowly. He did not want to scare her. He pointed to himself. "Marcus," he said. Then he pointed to her. He raised his eyebrows, asking. The girl understood. She pointed to herself. Her voice was small, rough from hunger and disuse. "Zara," she said. Marcus smiled. It was a small smile, but it was real. "Zara," he repeated. "Hello, Zara." Zara did not understand the words, but she understood the smile. She understood that she was safe. For the first time in weeks, she allowed herself to hope. Marcus gestured to the chair across from him. Zara hesitated, then Saturday. She was still shaking. She was still afraid. But she was no longer alone. And that made all the difference. The girl finished the meal. She ate slowly at first, then faster, as if afraid someone would take it away. Her small hands shook. Her eyes darted around the room, watching for danger. Marcus watched her in silence. He did not ask questions. He did not demand explanations. He simply waited. He knew that trust could not be forced. It had to be earned. When she was done, she looked at him. Her eyes were still scared, but something else was there now. Something like gratitude. She did not have words for it. She did not know how to express it. She simply sat there, small and fragile, waiting for him to act. Marcus gestured to a chair across from him. She hesitated, then Saturday. He sat down slowly, careful not to startle her. He pulled out his translator, a small device that could learn new languages quickly. He pointed to himself. Marcus, he said. She looked at him. She understood. She pointed to herself. Her voice was small, rough from hunger and disuse. Zara, she said. Marcus smiled. Zara, he repeated. He activated the translator. It beeped softly, processing her language, learning her words. Within minutes, they could understand each other. Over the next hour, Marcus learned her story. Zara was from a small colony world, a farming planet on the edge of council space. Her family grew crops. They raised animals. They lived a quiet life, far from the wars and politics of the galaxy. She had been happy. She had been safe. Then war came. Enemy ships bombed her city. Fire fell from the sky. Buildings collapsed. People screamed and ran. Zara's parents pushed her into a cellar and told her to hide. She heard them running. She heard the explosion. She never saw them again. When the bombing stopped, she crawled out of the cellar. Her city was gone. Her home was gone. Her parents were gone. She was alone. She ran. She hid. She stole food to survive. She slept in alleys and fields and abandoned buildings. She learned to avoid the enforcers. She learned to keep her head down. She learned that no one would help her. No one cared. Weeks later, she found a cargo ship. It was old, dirty, unmanned. She snuck aboard and hid in a storage locker. The ship lifted off. She did not know where it was going. She did not care. Anywhere was better than here. The ship brought her here, to this barren moon, to this lonely outpost. She had been wandering for weeks, alone, hungry, afraid. She had eaten scraps. She had drunk from puddles. She had slept in caves and craters. She was cold. She was tired. She was dying. Then she saw the light from Marcus's dome. She saw the smoke from his stove. She smelled the food. She could not help herself. She had to take it. She had to eat. Marcus listened. His heart grew heavy. He had seen war. He had lost friends. He had known hunger and fear. But he had never seen a child so broken. So alone. So empty. You are safe now, he said. He did not know if she understood. He hoped she did. No one will hurt you here. I will not let them. Zara looked at him. Her eyes were wet. She did not cry. She had forgotten how. She had cried so much in the beginning. Tears for her parents. Tears for her home. Tears for herself. But the tears had run out. There was nothing left. Marcus stood. He went to his supply pack. He pulled out the last of his food. 2 nutrient bars. A small bag of dried fruit. A bottle of water. He put them on the table in front of her. Eat, he said again. Rest. Tomorrow, we figure out what to do. Zara stared at the food. Then she stared at Marcus. She did not understand why he was being kind. She had known only cruelty. Only fear. Only hunger. The aliens on her world had ignored her. The enforcers had chased her. The adults had looked away. No one had helped her. No one had cared. But Marcus was different. He gave her food. He gave her water. He gave her a place to sleep. He asked for nothing in return. She did not understand. But she ate. When she was finished, Marcus showed her to a small cot in the corner of the dome. He gave her a blanket. He turned off the lights. He sat in the darkness, watching over her. Zara closed her eyes. For the first time in weeks, she slept without dreaming of fire. She slept without fear. She slept knowing that someone was watching over her. Marcus sat in the darkness, listening to her breathe. He did not sleep. He could not sleep. He was thinking about the war, about the children, about all the Zaras in the galaxy, alone and hungry and afraid. He made a promise to himself. He would protect this one. He would keep her safe. He would find her a home. Tomorrow, they would figure out what to do. Tonight, he would watch over her. That was enough. Days turned into weeks. Marcus and Zara fell into a rhythm. He taught her words. She taught him her language. He shared his food. She helped him with chores. They ate together. They worked together. They sat together in the quiet of the dome, watching the stars through the small viewport. The loneliness that had filled Marcus's days was gone. The fear that had haunted Zara's nights had faded. Marcus learned that Zara was smart. She asked questions about everything. Why is the sky dark? Where do the stars go during the day? Why do humans eat so much meat? He answered as best he could. He told her about Earth, about oceans and forests and mountains, about cities and farms and families, about the sun that rose each morning and the moon that glowed at night. She listened with wide eyes, imagining a world so different from her own. A world of green and blue. A world of life. Zara learned that Marcus was kind. He did not shout. He did not hit. He did not threaten. He simply cared for her. He gave her his food, even when he was hungry. He gave her his time, even when he was tired. He gave her his trust, even when he had reason to be cautious. She had never known anyone like him. She had never known that adults could be gentle. She stopped flinching when he moved. She stopped hiding her food under her pillow. She stopped sleeping with one eye open, ready to run. She began to relax. She began to trust. She began to feel safe. And she began to smile. Marcus noticed the first time it happened. They were sitting at the table, sharing a meal. Zara looked up at him, and her lips curved upward. It was a small smile, fragile and uncertain, like a flower pushing through cracked earth. But it was real. It was hope. Marcus smiled back. He did not say anything. He did not need to. Weeks passed. The food ran low, but Marcus did not complain. He gave most of it to Zara. He ate less so she could eat more. He was thin and tired, but he did not care. She was healthy. She was safe. That was enough. Then the council came. A ship landed near the dome. It was sleek and dark, different from the cargo ship that had brought Zara. Enforcers stepped out, large and armored, their weapons gleaming. There were 5 of them. They moved with purpose, scanning the area, heading toward the dome. Zara saw them through the viewport. Her face went pale. Her hands began to shake. She backed away from the window, her eyes wide with terror. They found me, she whispered. They came for me. Marcus stood. He put a hand on her shoulder. Stay inside, he said. Do not come out. No matter what you hear. Do not come out. He stepped outside. The door closed behind him. Zara watched through the small window, her heart pounding. The lead enforcer approached Marcus. He was tall, his armor covered in medals and insignias. His voice was cold, official. Human. We have come for the girl. She is a criminal. She stole food. She fled her world without permission. She must be punished according to council law. Marcus looked at the enforcer. His face was calm. His voice was steady. She is a child, he said. Her parents are dead. Her world was destroyed. She stole because she was hungry. She ran because she was scared. She is not a criminal. She is a survivor. The enforcer laughed. It was a harsh, ugly sound. The council does not care about her story. She broke the law. She must face justice. Step aside, human. This does not concern you. Marcus did not move. His eyes were cold. His voice was low. No, he said. The enforcer stopped laughing. He stared at Marcus, his hand moving to his weapon. You would defy the council? For a thief? For a runaway? Marcus took a step forward. He was not large compared to the enforcer, but he did not back down. He did not flinch. She is not a thief. She is not a runaway. She is a child who lost everything, and I will not let you take her. The enforcer's face twisted with anger. You are one human. Alone. Unarmed. We are 5 enforcers with weapons and armor. You cannot stop us. Marcus smiled. It was not a warm smile. Try me. The enforcers hesitated. They had heard stories about humans. Deathworlders. Predators. They had heard that humans did not back down. That humans did not surrender. That humans fought to the last breath. They looked at Marcus, at his calm face, at his steady hands. They saw something in his eyes that made them afraid. The lead enforcer raised his weapon. Last warning, human. Step aside. Marcus did not move. Inside the dome, Zara watched through the window. She was shaking. She was terrified. She had seen violence before. She had seen her parents die. She did not want to see Marcus die too. She took a breath. She opened the door. She stepped outside. I will go, she said. Her voice was small, but steady. Do not hurt him. I will go with you. Marcus looked at her. His eyes softened. No, he said. You will not. He turned back to the enforcers. His voice was low, dangerous. You want her? You will have to kill me first. And if you kill me, you will have to answer to Earth. You will have to answer to every human in the galaxy. You will have to explain why you murdered a man who was protecting a child. The enforcers looked at each other. They lowered their weapons. The lead enforcer spat on the ground. This is not over, human. The council will hear of this. They left. The ship rose into the sky and disappeared. Marcus watched them go. Then he turned to Zara. He put a hand on her shoulder. You are safe, he said. I will not let anyone hurt you. Zara looked up at him. Her eyes were wet. For the first time in months, she cried. The lead enforcer stared at Marcus. His hand moved to his weapon. His eyes were cold, hard, unforgiving. Human, you do not understand. The council's laws apply to everyone. The girl is a thief. She stole food. She fled her world. She must be punished. Step aside. This is your final warning. Marcus did not step aside. He stood in the doorway of the dome, blocking the entrance. His body was relaxed, but his eyes were hard. He had faced danger before. He had faced enemies before. He was not afraid. I understand, he said. His voice was calm, steady. I understand that a child lost her parents. I understand that she watched her world burn. I understand that she ran for her life and stole to survive. I understand that she was hungry and alone and terrified. I understand that you want to punish her for being hungry. He took a step forward. His boots crunched on the rocky ground. But I will not let you take her. She is under my protection now. She is under my care. If you want her, you will have to go through me. The enforcer's face twisted with anger. His scales flushed dark. You are one human. Alone. Unarmed. We are 5 enforcers with weapons and armor. We have training. We have experience. We have the full power of the council behind us. You cannot stop us. Marcus smiled. It was not a warm smile. It was the smile of someone who had been in fights before. Someone who had survived. Someone who knew that size and numbers did not always win. Try me, he said. The enforcers hesitated. They looked at each other. They had heard stories about humans. Deathworlders. Predators. They had heard that humans did not back down. That humans did not surrender. That humans fought to the last breath, even when they knew they could not win. They had heard that humans were dangerous. That humans were unpredictable. That humans were not like other species. The lead enforcer raised his weapon. The barrel gleamed in the dim light. Last warning, human. Step aside. I will not ask again. Marcus did not move. He stood in the doorway, his arms at his sides, his eyes locked on the enforcer. He did not flinch. He did not blink. He simply waited. Inside the dome, Zara watched through the small window. She was shaking. Her whole body trembled. She had seen violence before. She had seen her parents die in the fire. She had seen enforcers hurt people. She had seen the worst that the galaxy could offer. She did not want to see Marcus die too. She could not bear to lose another person she cared about. She took a breath. She walked to the door. She pushed it open. She stepped outside. I will go, she said. Her voice was small, but steady. She stood beside Marcus, looking up at the enforcers. Do not hurt him. I will go with you. I will accept my punishment. Just leave him alone. Marcus looked at her. His eyes softened. For a moment, his hard face became gentle. No, he said. You will not. He turned back to the enforcers. His voice was low, dangerous. He spoke slowly, clearly, so there could be no misunderstanding. You want her? You will have to kill me first. And if you kill me, you will have to answer to Earth. You will have to answer to every human in the galaxy. You will have to explain why you murdered a man who was protecting a child. You will have to face the anger of a species that does not forget and does not forgive. He paused. His eyes burned. So go ahead. Pull the trigger. But know that the moment you do, you start a war. And you will not win. The enforcers looked at each other. They looked at Marcus. They looked at Zara. They saw the determination in his eyes. They saw the fear in hers. They saw that he was not bluffing. He would die before he let them take her. The lead enforcer lowered his weapon. His face was tight with frustration. He spat on the ground. This is not over, human. The council will hear of this. They will send more enforcers. They will send warships. They will not forget. He turned and walked back to the ship. The other enforcers followed. The ship rose into the sky, its engines glowing, and disappeared into the darkness. Marcus watched them go. He did not move until the last light faded. Then he turned to Zara. He put a hand on her shoulder. His touch was gentle. "You are safe," he said. "I will not let anyone hurt you. Not today. Not ever." Zara looked up at him. Her eyes were wet. Her lips trembled. For the first time in months, she cried. Not from fear. Not from pain. From relief. From gratitude. From the overwhelming realization that she was not alone anymore. Marcus pulled her into a gentle hug. He held her while she cried. He did not speak. He did not need to. He simply held her, keeping her safe, keeping her warm, keeping her alive. The wind blew across the barren moon. The stars shone overhead. Two beings, different in every way, stood together in the darkness. One human, one alien, both survivors, both family. The council did not return. Days passed, then weeks. Marcus watched the skies, waiting for ships that never came. Perhaps the council decided the girl was not worth the trouble. Perhaps they feared the humans. Perhaps they simply forgot. Marcus did not care. He had a new mission now. Not watching for enemies. Not reporting alien movements. Protecting Zara. He sent a message to Earth. He explained the situation. The girl. The war. The council. The enforcers. He asked for permission to bring her home. The response came quickly. One word. Yes. A ship arrived a week later. It was not a warship. It was not a sleek council vessel. It was a simple transport, sent to bring them both back to Earth. Marcus and Zara packed their few belongings. The nutrient bars. The dried fruit. The blanket Zara had claimed as her own. They left the dome behind. Marcus did not look back. Zara did either. Zara stood at the viewport as the ship lifted off. She watched the barren moon shrink below her. Gray rocks. Gray dust. Gray sky. She would not miss it. She had spent weeks there, hiding and starving and surviving. But she had also found something there. Kindness. Safety. Marcus. Marcus stood beside her. Are you ready? He asked. Zara nodded. She did not know what Earth would be like. She had heard Marcus's stories. Oceans and forests and mountains. Cities and farms and families. Sunrises and sunsets. She had tried to imagine it, but her imagination was small. She had seen only fire and ash and darkness. She could not picture a world of color. But she trusted Marcus. And that was enough. The journey took 3 days. Zara spent most of it at the viewport, watching the stars. She had never seen so many. She had never traveled so far. She asked Marcus questions about everything. What is that star? How fast are we going? Have you been to that planet? He answered each one with patience, with kindness, with a smile. When they finally arrived, Zara gasped. Earth was blue. Not gray. Not black. Blue. Swirling clouds of white. Oceans of deep blue. Land of green and brown. It was the most beautiful thing she had ever seen. The ship descended through the atmosphere. The sky turned from black to blue. Clouds rushed past the viewport. Then the ground appeared. Green fields. Blue rivers. White buildings. Zara pressed her face to the glass, her eyes wide, her mouth open. It is beautiful, she whispered. Marcus smiled. Yes, he said. It is. The ship landed at a small spaceport outside a quiet city. Marcus and Zara stepped onto the ground. The air was warm. Soft. It smelled like grass and flowers and something Zara could not name. She took a deep breath. She had never breathed air so sweet. Marcus led her to a hill overlooking the city. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and red. Zara had never seen so many colors. She had never felt such warmth. She stood on the grass, feeling it beneath her feet, and stared at the world around her. This is home, Marcus said. Zara looked at the city, at the trees, at the sky. She looked at Marcus. His face was soft. His eyes were kind. Home, she repeated. The word felt strange in her mouth. She had not had a home in a long time. She had forgotten what it felt like. But standing on this hill, watching the sun set, she remembered. Marcus smiled. Come on, he said. There is food inside. Real food. Not nutrient bars. Not dried fruit. Real food. You are going to love it. Zara followed him down the hill. They walked through the city streets. Humans looked at them, curious but not hostile. Some smiled. Some waved. Zara waved back, uncertain at first, then more confident. They reached a small house at the edge of the city. Marcus opened the door. Inside, it was warm and bright. A table set with plates and cups. A stove with a pot of soup. A bed with soft blankets. Zara looked around, her eyes wide. "This is yours," Marcus said. "Your room. Your bed. Your home." Zara walked to the bed. She touched the blanket. It was soft, warmer than anything she had ever felt. She sat on the bed. She looked at Marcus. "Thank you," she said. Her voice was small, but it was steady. Marcus sat beside her. "You do not have to thank me. You are family now." Zara did not understand. She had never had family. Not really. Not like this. But she understood enough. She leaned against Marcus. He put his arm around her. They sat together in the quiet of the evening, watching the stars appear through the window. The stars that had once seemed so cold and distant now seemed warm. Because she was not alone anymore. She stole his only meal. He expected a thief. He found a survivor. And together, they found a family. That is what humans do. They take in the broken and the lost. They give them food and shelter and love. They make them whole. The screen faded to black, showing Earth from orbit. A small blue world. A world of kindness. A world that would always protect its own.